All right, hey guys, Ballistic here. I wanted to record a video really quick and just go ahead and talk about two topics which have been pretty big lately in the Dead by Daylight scene, which are Pinhead and skill-based matchmaking. I haven't really released one of these types of videos before because I usually just talk about it on stream, but I thought that it would be helpful for people who can't stop by and just need a quick diagnosis of what's going on. So I'll go ahead and start out with Pinhead. I get a lot of people talking about Pinhead and asking how I think he is. And to be honest with you, I think he's a very, very bad killer. The reason I think that are three main points, among many others. But right now, people just don't know how to play him. And I'm trying to give a little bit of grace on that. The 3 points are low map pressure. His teleport is useful, but it doesn't really cover a lot because he doesn't decide when he gets to teleport, if that makes sense. So if he wants to teleport, it's up to the survivors to initiate that teleportation. They need to start solving the box before he can choose to teleport, and then he has the choice. But if he wants to get to the other side of the map, like somebody like Freddy, he can't just choose to do that, or Demogorgon, for example. The second portion is low lethality. And this is really, really interesting because we thought that his power would be a lot stronger with the ability to break loops. But in execution, it seems that his lethality isn't any larger than somebody like Clown's, for example, where Clown even has one more tool in his kit, if you will, with the speed boost that he can have. So that's kind of confusing for the Pinhead. So the Pinhead can slow people down by using his chains, but it doesn't really make that great of a difference when the chains only last for about half a second. There's no real negative if the survivor manages to escape. The only thing I've really seen is slow vaulting and not being able to use things like Dead Hard. Even so, the amount of distance that you lose when you're in the chain, controlling it and trying to get it onto a survivor, the amount of distance almost negates the whole entire effect of the power. It's like you have to use it before they decide to fast vault, or you just lose distance. So that's a really, really bad thing for him. And like I said, we thought that it was going to be a lot stronger. Like, for example, imagine if the chains potentially, I don't know, almost had like a trickster-like meter, or had their own. I don't know. It's a really complex power, especially with the passive, but it's very, very tricky, and understanding it is kind of complex. But regardless, I don't think it's that strong of a power. He doesn't really have any anti-loop that is going to be effective. And, you know, we look at the killers who are quite good. You know, like old Freddy used to be really good because he had a really, really strong anti-loop, and he had a really, really strong map presence. It almost feels like this character is trying to be an old Freddy, but he's just doing it really, really poorly. That's at least what I've kind of seen playing throughout these games. Let me make sure I'm good on time real quick. Okay, we're doing pretty good on time. Another thing about Pinhead, the final point that I really have, so it was map pressure, low lethality, and the passive is almost useless in my opinion. So since the survivors automatically all cleanse right when the box is picked up, regardless of whether or not the person decides to cleanse it or solve it, whatever. Oh, warning, hatchet inbound. This is crazy. So the survivors have the choice to solve the puzzle or just to leave it. If they decide to not solve it, like that's cool or whatever, 3 of the 4 survivors are actually pretty clean. Only the one suffers, and that's not that bad if he's on the other side of the map. Jeez, that was nuts. So secondly, the status effect doesn't even really do anything. Like, yeah, it slows you down, and yeah, that's great. And if you were in a chase, that would absolutely screw you. But I think out of maybe the 10 games that I played against Pinheads, I've only had one chase where I was actually affected by that. And I'm the type of survivor to literally run at the killer. So that's something that's really kind of bad. I don't know how else to say it. I'm trying to think of this like as optimistically as possible because I think he's a really, really intriguing killer. And I think that his power could be really, really good, but it needs a lot of tweaks to make it stronger. And this is all under the caveat that people don't understand how to play as him or against him yet. I still don't think he's that strong. So I think that'll wrap it up for the Pinhead discussion. Now I want to move over to skill-based matchmaking. I played a few games, By a few games, I mean maybe like 8 hours under skill-based matchmaking. And it is absolutely terrible. Like, from what I have seen, it's quite bad. We don't, and first of all, like, something that we need to understand is we don't understand any of the metrics that they're using to track wins. We don't understand any of the metrics that they're using to track rank ups in this hidden ELO type of system. It's quite strange. The only thing that we do understand is pipping, and now they've even mitigated that to the point where rank 20, if they play enough, could be a rank 1 by the end of the season. So we don't really have much that we would benefit from in terms of this skill-based matchmaking system. I don't like it. I wish that there was a way, like a global ranking perhaps, or something that would at least give us an indication. Like, for example, League of Legends has their ranks and Counter-Strike has their ranks. You can at least tell how good you are, quote unquote. But, and you know, you'll see YouTubers or Twitch streamers say high MMR gameplay, but they can't even define that. So that's the first part. Now, as for the specifics, my killer games have all lasted under 5 minutes. I'm doing quite well. It's quite easy. Or I get an absolute god squad that almost appears as if they all have hacks. I know that they don't all have hacks, but they're quite good. So it's either the most challenging survivors ever or the easiest survivors ever who literally don't do gens and basically just pile up in a corner for me. On the contrary, with Survivor, I haven't played one game where the killer actually had impressed me. And that's not like an insult to the killers in the game. That's more of an insult to the MMR system. They're doing really, really poorly. I think I've played against, maybe, let's say out of 10 games, I think I played like 3 bronze, 2 silver, 1 gold, and 1 iridescent, maybe? No, maybe more iridescents than that. I don't even know if that adds up to 10. I can't count off the top of my head. But it's been pretty poor performance. Moving forward, I would really, really like for behavior to actually define what's going on with this MMR system. They need to actually tell us how we rank up, how we maintain our rank, what we need to do, and give us an actual metric to say we're doing good or bad. Because if we don't have that, we can't really... I mean, like, yes, we have a somewhat metric in, yes, I would like to escape if I am the survivor, or I would like to kill if I am the killer. But aside from that, stating the obvious, I mean, we don't really have anything that we can go off of. I like the idea of the system, but right now I think it's being poorly executed. I think with a little bit of revision, for both Pinhead, by the way, and skill-based matchmaking, I think with a little bit of revision, they can actually put something really good together. Until then, I think that you're going to continue to see survivors get frustrated when the killers are just not good. I think you're going to get frustrated killers when they, one match, get lumped in a game with survivors who suck, and then the next game they get lumped in a match with survivors who absolutely wipe the floor with them. The other thing about this, too, is it doesn't take into consideration perks and add-ons, I don't believe. So if I have, like, quite strong add-ons, like Eerie Head Huntress, I think that I get screwed the next time I don't play Eerie Head Huntress because, well, of course I'm going to get, 4 kills if I run Eerie Head or whatever, but a lot to work on behavior. I look forward to your updates on this issue. Guys, thanks for watching the video. Check me out on Twitch. I'll be streaming quite soon.